What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 9 of Brewed Opinions. We're here for 9 episodes, KT, ever since our resurrection. We're back again, another week. What's up, dude?
What's up, man? Yeah, it's awesome. I can't believe we got 9 of these things in.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. We just watched the Jaguars, Mac Jones.
Hey, guess what, everybody? Trevor isn't the problem.
When's Doug Peterson done?
If I was Shad Khan, I'd cut his access card to the building off right after that game. I mean,
Dude,
it's fucking getting
defense
stupid.
played their ass off today. Defense played their ass off today, and it was zero offense. The Mac Jones, I know I fuck with you a lot about Mac Jones, but dude, he's terrible. Terrible. They should have put CJ Beathard in at the end of the game.
Why not? Why not put him in? At least CJ actually knows the offense. He almost led that win last year against Cincinnati when Trevor went down. Mm-hmm. You know, if McManus could make a fucking field goal, which he seems to be making this year, we would have won that game and maybe been in a different situation going down the stretch last year. But every play changes nothing really. So we're fucking done.
We've been done for a while. I mean, we've actually given up talking about him. But tonight's we just watched the game and Mac Jones was awful. He had the one good drive. They had 150 yards of offense or some stupid shit like that.
What was the first down total between the two teams?
It was 28-7. I thought that was the score of the game.
It was so bad, man.
I thought it was the score of the game, dude.
We talked about earlier this week, when we found out Trev went down, I didn't even know Trevor got hurt last week. I mean, I thought he had that concussion, but I guess that's what it ended up being was his shoulder, his AC joint,
left shoulder. It wasn't really. It looked like a concussion during the game, but it was actually his left shoulder got whacked. And
I don't know. I don't know what we have to do.
If I'm Trevor, I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not playing the rest of this year. I don't want this coaching staff ruining my career anymore, man. And trust me, I appreciate what Doug Peterson did after the Urban thing. But, man, it's clear. It's clear why he got done in Philly. It's clear, he just doesn't have a pulse of the team. Every week we come out flat. Every week it's the same thing. Every fucking press conference is, we just got to do our job and we got to be better and we got to keep. It's I'm fucking done. When you get to the point where I don't even, pay attention there in the week anymore of anything, because I just don't care. And love the Jaguars.
You sound like me during the Jack Del Rio era.
Yeah, I'm over the fucking message, man. It's terrible. Last week, at the end of that game, yeah, I know Trevor threw the pick, but we got a minute 48 going into the end zone, and we're going for the end zone. We're not trying to run clock. So say that stupid route work to Dearness Johnson. So you're giving Philly the ball back. They had plenty of timeouts. We couldn't stop them all day. What were you expecting, Doug? What are you doing? Why is that the play call in that moment? To a third depth chart running back on the squad. I love Dearness Johnson. Nothing wrong. But we're not giving that jump ball to BTJ or Evan Ingram. We're getting too cute and smart because we're so fucking... it's sickening at this point. That dude thinks he's too smart for his own good. Thinks it's not his fault. It's the team's fault. He said it plenty of times this year after press conferences. It's how do you keep letting this happen? And by the way, Balky, get the fuck out too.
I'm just gonna sit here and drink beer.
I'm fed up. I'm over it. And you know what? It even gets to the point where part of this game when we were winning, and I'm thinking, you know what? We go 3-7. Trevor comes back next week.
You know,
we get into the easiest point. We get into the easiest point of the schedule because we've had a murderer's row of a schedule this year, and sure as shit, we called how the end of the game was going to happen.
Guys, just so you know, as bad as the Jaguars are, Kenny had a moment in the game that still had playoffs in it. Just to let you know, 2-7. Mac Jones at the realm, and there was still a chance.
Well, let's look at it this way, right? So we've had now 6 contests that we've lost by less than a touchdown. 1 blowout. Buffalo was just one of those aberrations.
Contests, okay.
What's that?
Contests.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting technical now.
Yeah, we're getting fucking grassroots here, man. I'm over this shit. So we have.
I'm just gonna let KT go.
We have this many games this year, right? Where we're in it. We're obviously got the talent. There's obviously things there. So then what is it? It's coaching. It's the small details. Doug talks about it every week. Small details. Well, you're the only one that can change this shit. You're the only one. Every week we see them on the sideline and they look flat coming out. Is that not on coaching? Like, are they not prepared? Do they not feel like they're ready to go? We already talked about the demoralization of freaking being in that stadium and home games and seeing, dude, the whole fucking stadium today was purple and gold. So
Skull, baby.
And the defense played amazing today. They haven't been able to stop shit the whole year when Trevor's putting up 28 points a game. Like, and then these people who think it's Trevor Lawrence's fault. Yeah, Trevor's not playing great, but he's not playing bad either. Like, it's this coaching staff. It's this dinosaur offense that just sucks. Like, it's the same shit every time. It's like receivers are running 40 yards downfield. We don't have the line to protect. Although Mac Jones did look pretty clean today for the most part. I mean, there was a couple of bad calls or bad plays, but I don't know. Fuck it. Burn it down. It has to be. It has to restart. And no, Trevor shouldn't come back this year. Go get the surgery. Don't let this coaching staff ruin him any more than they have.
So does Doug get fired today?
Oh, he won't, because Shaw doesn't have the balls to do anything. He'll just let it the rest of the season. And I guess at this point, does it matter? I mean, does it matter? You have guys in place. You could have Mike McCoy be the interim head coach for the rest of the season. The state of Florida,
it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter for Napier. Doesn't matter for Peterson. Doesn't matter for anybody.
Napier is a whole other decision that they came out this past week and said he's getting another year.
At least Schott hasn't written a letter that says we're going to stick behind him.
Oh, we're loving the progress we're seeing because we lost to Georgia by 2 fucking scores. Oh, my gosh.
Progress.
Yeah, progress.
Yeah.
I know they were depleted this week. Texas is a buzzsaw. They're really good.
Dude, Arizona. Is Arizona this good?
They're looking like they're this good,
they're 5-4.
Kyler Murray stopped playing Call of Duty, apparently, and has gotten into the playbook.
Like, James Conner is such an underrated running back, dude. Why did Pittsburgh ever get rid of him?
He's on my fantasy team. He's my flex guy every week.
Dude, I hammered Dallas this afternoon. I hit Carolina this morning. I hammered. Everybody's like, why are you taking Carolina? I just had a gut. Bryce Young's going to be the new quarterback for the Giants, so it doesn't matter. Oop, did I say that out loud?
Yeah.
No. And I just hammered the Cowboys today against the Eagles.
Just have that feeling?
Cooper Rush, baby.
Oh, Dak's out?
Dak's gone for the year.
Really?
Yeah.
Where the hell have I been all
You've
week?
been following the damn Jaguars. That's what you've been doing.
I've been following the worst team in the fucking league. Man.
Yeah. Yeah, I hammered the Panthers this morning and won, and now I'm hammering the Cowboys this afternoon. I didn't do anything at 1 o'clock. I should have hammered the Jaguars because I had a feeling that they were at least going to cover.
Yeah, they did.
They did.
Right?
Yeah, 7.5, or I think it closed at 7.
Oh, we talked about it all week with the Jags. With like Mac Jones is going to come. We actually thought he was going to come out and light it up today just to create this freaking stupid bullshit that was going to happen.
I was ready for chaos in Jacksonville.
Well, he's the prodigal son of the Jacksonville Jaguars because he went to Bowles High School and everybody was so excited that he's there. Well, guess what we got to see today? That shit show. Oh.
It needs to end tonight. I mean, if Shad Khan has to just do it now, or is he waiting for the bye week? Is next week the bye week, or we have one more?
Next week could be the bye week.
Yeah, maybe this is when it's done.
If not, it's Detroit, and then that
because you need a week.
If not, it's Detroit, and when that blowout happens,
you don't want to feed a new coach.
You don't even let him get on the plane and come home.
You don't want to feed.
You leave Balky and Doug there.
You don't want to feed a new coach to Detroit.
Did Saban do that to Lane Kiffin that one year when he got fired in Alabama? You didn't even catch the flight home or some shit like that. I'm just kidding. I don't wish bad on anybody, but
yeah, he does.
It's over. It's over.
Yeah, it's done. I mean, today was
where
terrible.
we go. Have no idea.
I don't know.
Go get some new young genius offensive mind to work with Trevor because obviously these guys do not know how to put Trevor in a good place, and he almost wins despite last week in the Eagles game when the things started turning around. They started coming back. I even texted Jay. I'm like, I think Trevor just said "fuck you" to Doug and Press and just started calling his own shit because it was night and day difference. And there's been a couple of games this year it's felt like that where he's even been yelling at the sideline. That's unlike Trev. He said it earlier.
How about Mac Jones yelling at the offensive line today? Like, who the fuck are you?
Oh, they weren't even looking at it in his direction. Like, shut up. And that's coaching. Like you said, Why not put C.J. Beathard in the game?
That locker room is a mess. If they put C.J. Beathard in, I think they have a chance to win the game.
Well, I mean, what gave you any promise after the sack fumble?
Yeah,
bad interceptions.
Luckily enough, you got the ball back.
Bad interceptions, throwing to nobody. How many balls did we see? And maybe Gabe Davis probably was running the wrong routes, which is I think's been plaguing this offense all year. I mean, there's been plenty.
Well, yeah,
of games.
He had the under route on that last interception. He had the under route to Brian Thomas wide open in the slot there.
Oh yeah, completely wide open. We were not getting him the ball. He's the best receiver on the team. He
got his second pass late in the fourth quarter.
I mean, what are we doing? Scheme it. Hey, what's supposed to be your best series every game? Your opening drives, right? Your opening 20 plays that are scripted, that you've been working on all week. You've put all the leg work in. You're putting hours in. You're not seeing your family. So you build this whole fucking game plan for Sunday.
Not seeing your family.
They're sleeping at the stadium, man.
You just got deep, man.
Yeah, dude. So you're putting all this work in, and I appreciate
They're not
what
allowed
they do.
They got to go home. It's the players' reunion.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to.
And every week we come out and go 3 and out. And we can guess.
Boy.
We can guess.
The Cooper Rush era just started.
Of course it did. It is what it is. I'm done with the Jaguars. I'm done talking about them.
Look at this. Oh, my God. It was a shotgun snap, and he fumbled it.
Yeah. There's bad play all across the world.
He was turning to hand it off before he even caught the snap.
A little interesting for the Veterans Month salute to service. The Cowboys got the red, white, and blue stripe going down the center. I kind of like it. That looks cool.
I like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, dude. Oh, my God. You could be a Cowboys fan.
Oh, I hate the Cowboys.
At least where you expect to suck. Cowboys expect to be good, and they never are.
Yeah, same shit every year. 9-8, losing the first round of the playoffs.
If they get to the playoffs. The funny thing last week against Philadelphia and the Jaguars, one of the two coaches should have got fired because if the Jaguars came back and won that game in Philly, Sirianni would have got fired.
Oh, the fans hate him there, huh?
Dude.
Well, and watching that game last week, I get it. Stupid. I mean,
if the Jaguars would have won that game, oh my gosh. Yeah. It would have been terrible.
These fucking coaches with their this analytic bullshit.
I hate analytics.
Have a feel for a game. I get it. You trust in your players and they can go get the play. But if they've been showing you all game they can't get it, odds are they're not going to get it. How many times we watched Doug go for it on 4th and 1 and we're like, we haven't been able to convert a 1-yard run all game, but you're going to go for it now and you're going to do some stupid, predictable, instead of sending someone out in the flat and hitting a quick pass over the top. Yep. You got a 6'7" quarterback who can move, by the way. Why don't you bootleg him out? Why don't you get him in the okay, I'm done.
I was just going to say
I'm done.
Kenny's not talking about Jaguars anymore.
Well, I'm at my breaking point.
Now?
I've been at my breaking point, but it's just keep it.
We haven't talked about it for the last couple of weeks on the podcast.
The same stupid shit over and over.
We haven't talked. And
then blaming the players. The players haven't given up fight, man. We went toe to toe with Green Bay. We went toe to toe with the Eagles last week on the road, and we went toe to toe with Minnesota Vikings today. They got a great defense, and they've had a great offense. Miami's shit this year, but opening week. The only game we really got blown out, well, 2, I guess. Chicago wasn't a good one, but that was over in London, and that it kind of came back. We came back in that game too. It's just it's obviously coaching. It is obviously coaching. When Trevor scores points, defense doesn't show up. Defense shows up today. We got Mac Jones in the game. Whatever, man.
KT, it almost sounds like you care.
I do care about him, man. We fucking invested so much money in this team as fans. I mean, the gear we've bought, going to the games. We don't do that anymore because it's a shit show.
At least we weren't there today.
Oh my God, I would have jumped off the back wall if we were there.
Here's the tush push. The tush push.
I would have either jumped off the back wall or drowned myself in the pool. It's just. I'm glad we don't waste our time.
How bad was that? Cooper Rush can't hold a shotgun snap and Philly gets the score after they came out and stopped him in the beginning.
Yeah. Oh, Philly's playing really good, man. Like I say,
but the thing is Philly is not playing really good.
No,
they're not playing really good.
Well, even Minnesota being where they're at, they survive. But that's what good teams do.
The Jaguars,
that's what good teams do.
7, 4
that's
field
what
goals.
Good teams do and good coaches do.
4 field goals today.
Yep. It's unbelievable, but I don't know. The NFL season's getting interesting. There's a lot of top-heavy teams. I mean, there's a lot of teams with good records, and there's a lot of teams with shitty records.
Yeah, I mean,
at this point, it's the fight. It's fight for the number.
Chiefs win again.
Yeah,
it wasn't pretty today, but they won. We were talking about the Commanders earlier. Like, how good are the Commanders? Then they lost a 10-point lead to the Steelers today.
Yeah, they were finding ways to win.
How good are the Steelers? The Steelers are what, 7-2 now?
With
Russell Wilson, on this podcast, we've said verbally how bad Russell Wilson is, and he's actually looked pretty good.
Yeah,
and Justin Fields didn't do anything to lose that job.
You know what's working out for them is that
Mike Tomlin. That's what's working out for him.
Mike Tomlin is what's working out.
And Pittsburgh fans, for you idiots that wanted him gone, shame on you.
Yeah.
Because that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's one of the best coaches in the league. Best coaches in the league. Never been below 500. And you wanted him gone.
Yeah, but good franchises expect Super Bowls. They get stuck.
But the fact that the fans wanted Mike Tomlin gone is ridiculous.
I take Mike Tomlin tomorrow and we can go 9-8 every year and make the playoffs. That's all I ask for.
Never been below 500. Never been below 500. They question the quarterback situation, bringing in two guys that could start in this league, and now you got a washed-up quarterback playing high-level football, and they're 7-2. Every Pittsburgh fan that wanted Mike Tomlin gone, shame on you.
Yeah,
shame on you.
He handled that situation brilliantly, man.
The guy's a genius, dude.
And Russ,
and he doesn't get credit for it.
What plays up for Russ in this system is they actually have some good receivers there that are now getting to just Russ can just do his shit where he dances around for fucking 20 minutes and chucks one up.
But he's not though. You watch him play, he's playing it efficient.
Well, Artie Smith's a great offensive coordinator. Yeah. Might not have been a great head coach, obviously. We saw that, but everywhere he's been as an offensive guy. Can you imagine that, dude? Artie Smith is the son of the founder of FedEx and took the hard way of sleeping on couches, climbing up the coaching ranks. Kudos to that guy. That's what it's all about, man. Hard work.
You're getting deep tonight, man.
Dude, I'm fired up, man.
You are.
I'm fired up.
You are.
I'm tired of this shit.
We got a lot of shit going on, man. I'm watch this Aaron Rodgers bullshit. When are people going to start realizing that?
Well, they won last week, so everything was fixed.
Jets are 3-6. Aaron Rodgers is terrible, man. He's old.
He had a great second half last week. They won the game. He had some unbelievable catches being made in that game. That Garrett Wilson catch was stupid.
Oh, my God. Justin Herbert, that was a touchdown. I got Justin Herbert starting today. I need some scores because I played the guy that had Lamar Jackson and Jamar Chase.
I have Herbert starting in one of my lineups today, too.
Yep,
San Diego's quietly...
They're 5-3. They're losing to Tennessee right now.
Have they played KC yet this year?
Yeah, they lost, I think.
Yeah.
Well, everybody lost to KC. Mm-hmm. KC beat Denver today, but it was ugly. Was it 20-14
All their
or
wins
something
this
like
year
that?
have been ugly. But hey, dude. When you have Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes,
what do you think about tonight's game, Lions and Texans? I heard the Texans are bringing out the battle red. I kind of like that uniform that they have. The Jaguars uniform was nice today.
Oh, the white shell helmets.
I like the white shell helmets.
Yeah,
there's one positive out of the Jaguars today was their uniforms.
Actually, it's the only reason we tuned in.
Kudos to the equipment team today.
Yeah, well, it's nice this year anyway that they even doing the throwbacks a couple weeks ago against Indy. That I know you were out of town that week and you didn't get to see the game, but they were beautiful, man. Just seeing. I
didn't get to see anything. I was out of the country.
Yeah,
I didn't even get to see anything.
You were
texting me as I landed.
A clean look,
and I was in a bus ride in the Dominican Republic, and you were just texting me about the game, and I'm like, I'm missing the only win. I got to see
second win.
I got
first
to see
wins. Yeah. One of two. One of two. Congratulations.
Wow, how about that? Nice return. Come on, Dallas. I hammered you this afternoon. Let's go. Let's go. +7.
They do look good with that red, white, and blue, man.
I'll be honest with you. I've never heard of Spencer Schrader. Never heard of Spencer Schrader. I guess I'm just not dialed into the kicking game of the Jets.
Who gives a shit? Oh, they had to go to a new kicker because they've lost 4 games this year from automatic guy. I can't think of his name right now, but...
Zerline, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Greg the Leg, right? Is that what they call him? Greg the Leg.
Cooper Rush. Look at this. Cooper Rush. Yeah. Great field position after that return.
Dude, but it goes.
Jaden Daniels, 17 of 34 for 200 yards. That wasn't very good on his part, huh?
No, that's maybe a welcome rook. I mean, he's been amazing so far. I mean,
Austin Eckler, 44 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's on my fantasy team. How about that?
There you go.
Very good. Brock Purdy, 353 and
so there's
2
positives
touchdowns.
there's positives that come out of an NFL Sunday, Jay, when you actually pay attention to other teams.
The Bucs lost again today. It's back-to-back losses. The 49ers, man. Brock Purdy.
Did the Saints end up taking down the Falcons?
I think they did. Yeah, they won by 2017 or something like that.
I guess it goes to show any given Sunday, man, like teams just come out of nowhere.
Yeah. What about, dude? You know, we're talking about the NFL here, but like we haven't talked about ever since the Magic kicked off, dude. How devastating was it to lose Paolo, man?
Oh, it's the story of our lives, man.
Like playing such good elite level defense, scoring.
Paolo was on another level. Looked like all NBA.
Gets hurt. Not only hurt, like 4 to 6 weeks for a reevaluation. We don't know if he's coming back after that.
And then he's got to get back in conditioning. He's got to get his, I mean, who knows?
He's not going to be able to. A 5-game road streak against powerhouses.
Not going to be able to shoot or do anything because it's an oblique strain. Yeah. So it's just like.
You got to love my daughter. Poor girl. She's like, Daddy, what's an oblique strain? And I was like, an oblique strain? I was like, oh, an oblique strain. And I was like, you know what? I just had to hand it to her. I was like, you know what? You pronounced it by the phonetics version of what it should be pronounced. If you guys knew my daughter, she is diehard Magic to the core, like more than probably me and KT, and she is living and dying by this team. And tonight, 6 o'clock, we got who do we got? The Wizards. Like these are winnable games. We got it. If the Magic can stay afloat and be right around 500 for when Paolo returns, that would be big time success.
Yeah.
Wendell Carter going down, but I'll tell you what, Batazzi. I love like last year. Batazzi did the same thing. When Wendell Carter went out, Batazzi comes in and plays high-quality minutes. He does what he's supposed to do. He does. He rebounds the basketball. He assists the basketball. He plays great defense. And when the opportunity to score is, he lays it in. He doesn't.
And you got Mo backing him up, which is great. And
yeah, and that's why everybody is kind of questioned the Magic. Like, what are they doing? Like, why isn't Anthony Black starting? Anthony Black starting, and Jamal Mosley said, I don't want to mess up the second unit.
Yeah.
So that's why Tristan Da Silva has come in to start. Which Da Silva's been nice. Yeah. Like, he's a rookie. Like, he's learning. But, like, the thing that's great about Tristan Da Silva is he can come fill that role, and Anthony and Jamal Mosley knows how good that second unit is. That second unit might be one of the best in the NBA.
Yeah.
As a whole.
They're a deep team, man. And it's really going to fall on Franz. And the other night,
he played great.
He played amazing. So, it's like, Franz, get your shit back together. It looks like you have this year. Your 3-point percentage is up. Last year was abysmal.
But I mean, even like on I guess it was Friday night. Like he was his little short jump shots, his little short hook shots, like the things that makes him go were very good, very good. Anthony Black has been a difference maker in my opinion for the Magic this year.
I
think he's been great. A lot. I think he's been playing fantastic basketball.
Plays good defense.
I think. Wendell Carter has been playing good, but now he's hurt. Jonathan Isaac, when he comes in, who's really been a disappointment this year and who's kind of the odd man out is Cole Anthony.
Yeah,
there's just no space for him.
Cole's that guy that like he's liability on the defensive end,
but the thing is with Cole Anthony, dude, is like he's not always been a liability on the defensive end. Like he can play defense.
He can. And he's one of those guys that like will just come out of nowhere and have a game.
Yeah.
Like he'll lift us on a night that like nothing's going on and he'll have, because he can get streaky. He's like a streaky shooter, I guess, like. But you're right though. At this point in time, and they paid him. Not that they can't get off that contract.
It's not a big deal.
No,
it's not a big deal.
They didn't overpay or anything like that.
They're not going to do anything with it. It's like, I think Anthony's kind of been the odd man out. And I think to get through this stretch, they have to win these next couple games. Mm-hmm. They have to beat the teams they're supposed to beat.
Yep.
So when Paolo comes back, they're still in it. Because right now, they can play all the elite defense they want, but if they don't have the points that Paolo provides and the offensive...
It'll be just like last year.
Dude,
no scoring.
Before Paolo got hurt, they were putting 2 and 3 guys on Paolo, and it was totally affecting the offense. Everybody was open, shooting threes. KCP's been great. He's such a good addition as a veteran to the team. Like, he takes the role of Ingles, but like a more productive Ingles. And trust me, I love Ingles.
Yeah.
But he was a leader. He was a guy that kept the team loose, and he would come in and just drill threes. But KCP is an elite defender. And I think he is going to be the difference in this team in the long run moving forward.
Oh, I agree, man.
Yeah, I mean, KCP, in my opinion, I love the dude. Like, he's
had some moments too already, like in the home games.
And even when you hear him mic'd up and like his leadership coming out and how he's talking to Suggs, like he's going to be Jalen Suggs' mentor.
Because you forget too,
like,
this team is still really, really young.
Dude, they're so young. KCP's like 32, and he's the old man by a lot.
Yeah, just like Ingles was.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, Jonathan Isaac's probably the second oldest, and he's probably still only like 27. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, he
might not even be 27.
People forget Isaac was drafted out of Florida State like
2017?
First or second year. He only played 1 or 2 years at Florida State.
Freshman, yeah.
So he came in, and Paolo's young. Everybody's young. I hope they can keep it together prior to Paolo getting back. 500 would be a goal.
Yeah.
That stretch, that 5-game road stretch that they just faced.
It was tough.
Or Dallas, Oklahoma City, Indiana, Minnesota. Who else did they play? I don't even remember.
They played Memphis.
Memphis. Well, no, Memphis was the one-off game that they won.
Okay.
That was when Paolo was still there.
Oh, it started with Chicago, and they lost that one.
Chicago,
they
told
needed
you.
that game.
I said Chicago's a big game to get because they're going on a stretch. That's when Paolo got hurt against Chicago. And then when they lost Chicago, and then they went to play Dallas, Oklahoma City.
There was another team in there.
They played someone else before Indiana. I can't think of it at the moment.
Phoenix? No,
it was a Middle East team, not Saudi Arabia, Middle East. I can't remember for the life of me who it was, but it was like those games were very tough. Whether Paolo was there or not, I mean, even to split those games with Paolo would have been huge. But they went on the 5-game streak of losing, and now they come back home. They actually started to play good against Indiana. They had a chance to win the Indiana game on the road. Jalen Suggs played a great game. Then they come back home. They handle business against.
The Cavs was the other.
Cavs, yeah, Cavs are playing ridiculous right now.
Are they still undefeated?
They're undefeated, dude.
Yeah, and
they're playing. So they handle business the other night, and now tonight they got to handle these games that they're supposed to handle.
Go beat the Wizards tonight.
Hey, they're getting ready to take a big West Coast trip, I think, and it's not going to be easy.
Yeah. So you got the Wizards. I think they got Charlotte. They got Indiana again. Get one back against Indiana.
You need to beat the Wizards. You need to beat Charlotte, and then you need to try to take down. I mean, Indiana. That's going to be 3 games in the beginning of the season.
And then I think they have Philly, which Philly's been a shit
Philly's
show.
a hot mess. What's going on in Philly with Embiid saying like he's not going to play all the time, only until the playoffs, and then he shoved a reporter or whatever.
Oh,
and
really?
He got suspended for 3 games because a reporter questioned him, and apparently we're not allowed to question $1 billion or $1 million athletes.
Yeah.
Because they don't play in front of the fans that we pay their salary.
Yeah. And anybody knows that goes to NBA games. I mean, if you get upper deck seats, you can get in pretty cheap, or at least at Orlando. I'm sure that in a market like Philly, they're probably not cheap. But, man, you imagine this. I mean, we've sat courtside before.
You take your kid to go see Joel Embiid, and he doesn't play, and he doesn't even care that he doesn't play?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Well, I'm only concerned about championships, so have fun with that, buddy.
How many championships have you won?
So Philly's resting their laurels on Paul George and Embiid, and neither one of them play half the season. So there you go. But so yeah, you have this nice little another 5-game stretch with the win the other night. That hey, you get right back in this thing. Get above 500.
They got to win the next 2 games. That gets them back to 500. They're 4-6. They got to win tonight. They got to beat Charlotte, and then they got to go and play Indiana tough and try to get a win.
Yeah.
And then because I believe they're going West Coast for a tough stretch, Phoenix, Golden State.
Yeah, they are. Phoenix
LA,
is after Philly.
Like Lakers, Clippers, the whole little Southwest Coast trip.
Yep. Which is a long trip.
The Northwest Coast trip is worse when you got Golden State, Portland, Utah. That whole stretch is worse. Denver. Like that's what stretch. The Southwest trip, Phoenix,
just better
LA,
teams.
Clippers. Utah could get struck into that too. Soon to be Vegas when they get their team. They're talking about expansion in the NBA, dude.
Yeah. Well, that's
not relocation. I'm talking. And guess who else is good out west?
Well, isn't LeBron's the one leading the charge that he wants to be the owner of a Vegas team?
Guess who else is great out west that everybody forgets? Sacramento, dude.
Yeah, Sacramento.
Like everybody forgets about Sacramento.
Yep.
Like they're good, dude.
Mm-hmm. They cause problems for
they're
sure.
Good. Who do they have? They have Sabonis, Fox. Who knows? Vlade Divac might come back. No,
that Murray kid.
Yeah.
Yep.
Look how old you are. That Murray kid. Oh, that Murray kid is very good.
You get old when you start referring to professional players
as that kid. That's funny. Look at Arizona about to go in again, dude. Look at your boy Kyler. Dude, not even touched. Oh, there's a flag on the play.
Oh,
no.
No. It was
he
good.
missed the extra point? Oh, no, he got it. 14-3. Kyler Murray is like playing some ball again, dude. This is like Kyler Murray from 3 years ago. 3 days ago. 3 years ago.
He put that PS5 controller down and started.
Like, look at him, dude. It's like there's nobody even here.
He's an unbelievable athlete. I mean, when he would have been the number one pick in the MLB and number one pick in the NFL draft, it's like...
Can you believe that, dude?
Yeah.
Like, how ridiculous that is. Like, you're so good that you're like, I can be the number one pick in 2 sports. Like, think about that, dude.
And I think they said his first love actually is baseball.
They said he's a better baseball player than a football player. But he got drafted by the A's, and you're like, oh, pass on that.
Yeah.
If he got drafted by the Yankees, he's probably still playing Major League Baseball.
When did they move to Oakland? Not Oakland, Vegas. Oakland moved to Vegas.
Well, they tore down the Tropicana. Like, they've broken ground
That's
on the
where
stadium.
the stadium's going.
I don't know where they're playing next year because it's not in Oakland.
Right.
It's not in Oakland.
Who knows? Who gives a shit?
Yeah,
really?
I honestly, to be honest with you, I
mean, it's cool that Vegas is going to get a second sports second sports team.
Well,
third sports team.
Well, they have
God, imagine when you lived in Vegas, they didn't have shit.
Yeah, they have NHL.
Oh, they got the NHL.
They got the Golden Knights. They got the Raiders. They're going to have the A's. They have the Las Vegas Aces in the WNBA. They've been trying to do an MLS team, which I think would kill it in Vegas with the Latino population. And they're talking about NBA, especially part of the expansion. The Kings have already tried to move there, and it got squashed like 10 years ago. Kevin Johnson, the mayor of, the old NBA player who's now the mayor of Sacramento, squashed that deal.
Yeah. Well, I remember when you lived in Vegas and I'd come out, and I know the Golden Knights, they were just coming into Vegas and you guys left, right? Because you were going to have season tickets.
I actually had the pre-sold season tickets.
Yeah. You and a couple guys at the course, right?
Yeah. And they still have the tickets.
Yeah.
And those bastards sent me a picture standing next to the Stanley Cup, which was bullshit.
But imagine if you were out there now. But, I think about the Raiders. How could you ever have a home field? It's like playing in Jacksonville. Because there's so many people from everywhere in the... I mean... if I found out, if I was a Pittsburgh Steelers fan and they're playing in Vegas, I'm going to that game.
Yeah,
why not? You're going to have a great weekend.
If you watch a Raiders game, dude, it's like a home away crowd.
Yeah. Well, you got to imagine all the hotels are comping tickets and, with gambling and everything like that. I don't know if that's legal or how that would work.
Oh, no. They comp. I'm sure MGM owns a couple boxes there. They probably own a bunch of seats, and they just use them as high roller tickets.
Yeah.
I mean, 100%, dude. If you're MGM and you're like, oh, dude, the Steelers are coming in town. I'm going to go look at my roster of Pittsburgh people and tell them they're going to get a free room this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to spend $50,000 at the craps table.
Players card. Oh, Mr. So-and-so.
Here's your ticket for the game.
So we got you comped in
here's your ticket at the game.
Top level suite this weekend.
Oh, by the way, the Steelers are coming into town. Did you want tickets to the game?
Yeah.
You know what else is in Las Vegas this year? And WrestleMania.
Yeah, where are they having that at?
Allegiant Stadium.
It's going to be in the stadium?
We should go, dude. We should go.
I know.
We should go.
My buddy up in Maine was talking about wanting to take his kids out to that.
We do a live podcast from the hotel room in Las Vegas.
That'd be sick.
Dude, how cool would that be?
That would be sick.
How cool would that be? It would be awesome. 2 nights. It's
fly
in April.
Fly out.
It's in April.
Yeah.
Go in on a Friday. WrestleMania Saturday night, Sunday night. We come home Monday.
Let's do it.
I say we do it. Let's fucking do it.
Let's do it.
We're doing it.
We're gonna do
it. My wife doesn't know yet, but we're doing it.
I say let's do it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Because, dude, how else are we going to experience?
We've been to one WrestleMania in our lifetimes, and it was the one in the Citrus Bowl.
Yep. The Rock Roman WrestleMania main event.
In Vegas.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, we're going.
We're going. It's done deal. We're done.
We're going.
Yep. We just did it. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to do it.
We'll do it. Like I said, like my buddy Trev, he goes, I'm really trying to go, but he goes, I just don't know how much that's going to be for the whole family to go out. And I'm like, it's once in a lifetime, bud.
Dude.
Once in a lifetime.
The tickets won't be that much. You can get tickets, probably aftermarket tickets, whatever. And I mean, hotel rooms, I mean, they're not that bad.
And if you book at the right time, flights aren't bad either. Yeah. So
I mean, April in Vegas is not terrible.
Mm-hmm.
It could interfere a touch with NCAA basketball tournament, but April will be more closer to like the Final Four-ish.
Right.
Yeah, that's because it's probably, I'm going to guess
Is it going to be mid-April?
The first or second weekend in April is usually when WrestleMania is. So you're like around.
It's right around the Masters.
You're around Final Four, Master, that whole.
Oh, what a great weekend to be in Vegas gambling, buddy.
I don't gamble.
Oh, we're doing it.
I don't gamble. I don't gamble.
We're going. That's it. That's the trip. Mm-hmm. That's the trip next year.
It's a done deal.
Tell me where to sign, bud.
I mean, I want to be there in person when they hold up the ones.
Oh, yeah. How sick was it the other night when...
Dude, I'll have to say, I thought about this the other night, and I wanted to bring it up personally in the podcast. SmackDown was great. It was predictable, but great.
Mm-hmm.
You knew that Sammy was coming out. You knew that Roman was going to doubt him. You knew that afterwards, even with Solo holding his face, you knew that Sammy was going to kick Solo. You just knew all this was going to happen. But the thing that stood out to me, and it must have been like a drone shot or some kind of camera thing, the very end of the show, when Roman and Sammy are looking at each other, and Sammy puts up the ones, and then Roman puts up the ones, and then they turn to the fans, and all four of them put the wins. There was this camera shot that came around the outside. I don't know if it was a drone or something, but it was like this hovering camera, and it showed all four of them holding the ones. And I was like, that was WWE cinema to perfection right there.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know what they're going to do because a War Games match is 5-on-5.
Right.
And the way that went down, Solo was like, my dog Sammy is number 5.
Yeah.
Okay, that
and they've already addressed it then, so yeah.
That fell apart. So now it's 4-on-4. That's not a War Games match. A War Games match is 5-on-5. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that you can go forward with a 4-on-4 War Games match. And I don't know if it's, do they bring in one of these?
4-on-4 is a traditional Survivor Series.
Do they bring in one of these family members that hasn't been introduced yet, like Zilla, Fatu, or whatever? Or do they somehow, I told you this the other day, do they somehow write Cody and Kevin Owens into this story to make them the extra people? Like, because Cody and Roman are they teamed up with them a couple PLEs ago, and Kevin will just adapt to anything because it looks like Randy is going to be off TV for a minute. They're trying to tell that story.
Right.
Obviously, we know that my daughter was very concerned about Randy getting off the ambulance. She's like, Daddy, this has to be real. And I said, I said he's a little banged up. Yeah. But anyway, like,
well, it's good.
So
it's good that way because then it extends the KO Randy thing into like.
I mean, I guess the question is how does this become a 5-on-5? I don't see The Rock competing in a War Games match.
No,
I don't think they're there yet in the story. The only other thing that makes sense to me, besides writing in Cody and KO into this match for 5-on-5, is if they bring in another member, Zilla. If they introduce that situation, there's so many layers because you got the KO Sammy layer to it too.
Right.
The history of
that's got to be the angle they're going to go with.
I mean, or do they just stay 4-on-4, which I don't think is a proper War Games match. Every War Games,
like
that's
you said,
been,
where they've already addressed the 5-on-5.
I mean, we're running out of weeks here. We only have a couple weeks to tell this story.
And you're not going to put Cody versus KO on the for the championship belt at
no.
this. So it is that's the best storyline for them at this point. Cody reteams up with the Bloodline versus KO and the other one. And
how do you tell it though? Like, how do you? I mean, that was a big night. SmackDown, Sammy. Okay, you're united. I think Gunther and Damian are now in their program. I think that's going to be a long program.
Yeah.
For both of those guys, because Damian doesn't need Judgment Day anymore, and Gunther now has a specific person that can go on. Seth and Bronson Reed are now, you can see that they're not done.
You either have Solo, what I bet they do is like Solo will probably start going around the roster and trying to bring people in.
I see where you're going with that, but
as like a story on Raw.
Yeah, but I see where you're going with that, but I think that kind of like get in there, Justin Herbert. Yes. They are. I see where you're going with that. The only thing that I question that is if Solo, as the leader of the Bloodline or the new Bloodline, he should not have to go find somebody. Like if you're that dominant and you are the Bloodline through and through, so people should be begging you to be a part of it.
So then do you have Cody go to Roman and say, I want to be with you guys. I want to be the fifth member. And then KO comes and says, I'm coming to you, Solo. Or if you want to put Solo over as like a true tribal chief.
Or you do this, because
Cody will do that. He's the everyday guy. He's the baby face.
Cody comes to, and there's nothing for Cody, and I've voiced
there's
my
nothing
opinion.
for Cody.
And you go and you recreate that Roman Cody relationship for one night only. I mean, I think you still have to keep the separation. And then once Roman accepts Cody into the original Bloodline, the OBL, as we call it, hasn't officially taken over, but when it does, WWE, we need some credit.
We need some cash.
but when they come over, now KO, I don't know how you do that. Like if Cody attacks KO and KO gets all pissed off and he goes to Solo and says, I need a part of be in this match. I need to go against Cody.
Yeah. Because KO and
KO is just, and then Solo is just like, well, yeah, we'll take him, because it's because he's going to offset Cody.
That's how
that's an interesting match because I think it has to be 5-on-5.
Yeah,
because the way the War Games match happens is the guys sit in the cage for 5 minutes and they come in one at a time, and 4 just doesn't do it because 2 guys start in the match. And then the 5 minute, whoever has the advantage, they'll probably have some stipulation where they go for that advantage. For the first person comes in, so it's a 2-on-1 for 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. And then 2-on-2, 3-on-2, 3-on-3, 4-on-4. And that's what builds it up. So what do we do? Like, I'm interested to see. They have 3 more weeks now to tell this story to get it to 5-on-5. Right now, you're 4-on-4, very solid. I think the other night was exactly what we needed. It told the story.
KO
it
put
set
Randy
the tone.
Out of commission for this.
Yeah, but they're not really attached to that story yet.
Right.
But yes, Randy is off TV.
Got him out of the
And
thing.
Randy could actually come at the end of that match and do something.
Yep.
Whether it just depends on the story because you still have Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber. And if I remember correctly, Elimination Chamber is going to be outside the country somewhere. I think Toronto or something like that. So Elimination Chamber will be big.
Yep.
It's just very interesting. Like, it's very interesting on how they're going to make this 5-on-5. And there's a lot of speculation that we could talk about. I don't know where they go with it. I don't know what they do. You know, I think the WWE and Triple H have really set up so much leading into WrestleMania. I mean, we still have 5+ months to build 2 nights of WrestleMania. And we still have War Games, Elimination Chamber, Royal Rumble. We have 3 massive PLEs to tell this story. And, you know, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, which is great.
So there's there's another member of the family that could join Solo's group?
There's members all over
I
the
know
place,
that.
dude.
So what if they brought in someone?
Well, they're talking about Zilla Fatu, who's from GCW, where Jacob came from.
What if they did this thing, or they brought someone in and KO, because he's so unhinged right now, just destroys him and is like, after Cody signs on with Roman and is like, I want to be like, show Solo that he means business. They know what KO is all about. I mean, I don't know if there's enough time to tell that story.
Yeah, probably not enough time, and probably you don't want at this point.
You don't want to crush someone that you're bringing in either.
You don't want to diminish anybody from the bloodline.
Yeah.
New or old.
Right.
Everybody that comes in from the bloodline has to be extremely powerful.
Yeah.
Like when Jacob Fatu came in. Jacob Fatu
He's got to be the new scary guy on the block.
Jacob Fatu is great.
Yeah.
His worshiping and the whole thing with I love you Solo, like that. I mean, obviously that's going to end at some point.
Of course.
But here's another thing. We think about the 5-on-5. Take Cody and KO out of it. We had a little moment during the Intercontinental match between Jacob Fatu and Braun Breaker. Do they give Braun Breaker a rub and put him in this match? I don't know what I know you don't like him. And is there another person? There's just so many angles. We don't know yet, man.
It's the main event of that PLE. So Cody has to be the guy.
Does he?
What else is he going to do? He's not going to miss.
Does he have a match with KO?
I guess they could do that then. I mean, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that they haven't announced.
There's a lot of things
they haven't announced one match for Survivor Series, and it's 3 weeks away. They haven't announced one match. I mean, you
see the writing on the wall.
You could fantasy book and say, okay, Damian versus Gunther is a match. You're probably going to have you're going to have Judgment Day War Raiders. They're going to probably finally fight that.
Yeah.
Are they going to have a women's War Games match? I don't know. I don't think there's enough groups of women to make that happen, even though they kind of started a little bit of something with everything that happened on SmackDown the other night I think they're trying to get a bunch of women together.
Oh,
like Nia, Tiffany, Candice LeRae, against Jade, Bianca. They could put something together. Well, you got the
Liv and Raquel versus Bianca and
you could put something together. They have 3 weeks to tell this. The thing is, they're running out of time.
But they also just named a new number 1 contender for Liv's belt with that Battle Royale on Monday night.
Yeah, which I didn't really like that.
It just doesn't make sense.
It was almost like they were trying to tell another story with Jade and Bianca and everything. And you're like, oh, wait a minute.
But then you come out and you squash it, and then you put a new number 1 contender.
Yeah, and it's like that match.
And then on SmackDown, doesn't Liv and Raquel screw over, or was that in the same Battle Royal? Oh, that was in the Battle Royal, yeah. They screw them over. So there's definitely heat between them.
Yeah, like because if they're going to do a women's War Game match, they've got some work to get a 5-on-5 situation.
Right.
I still think they I would like to see one traditional Survivor Series match. They haven't had one in forever.
Yeah.
A traditional 4-on-4 elimination.
Maybe they'll
match.
do that.
Maybe
they'll build towards that.
But I mean, you're running out of time here. 3 more weeks, dude. That's 2 hours. That's 4 hours a week. You got 12 more hours to tell a story. What do they do? I mean, not everybody's going to be on Survivor Series.
No.
It's not like it used to be. Like, LA Knight might not be on it. There's only going to be one belt decided.
I didn't see all of Raw the other night, but did
now
he even come out?
Now they've created... Well, he's on SmackDown.
Oh, SmackDown.
Now they've created the U.S. Women's Belt. Are they going to have some kind of tournament for that? Like,
it sounds like they are.
And they're going to pay it off at Survivor Series? Or... I don't know. They've got a lot. They haven't announced one match yet, and we're 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
And the only match right now that I know of is an incomplete Bloodline versus original Bloodline and a Gunther versus Damian.
Yeah.
I don't know where else they're going to go. I want to say that Judgment Day versus War Raiders, are they going to keep that for the pay-per-view, or are they just going to have it on Raw?
Right.
Are they going to do anything with The Miz and the Wyatt Six?
Yeah, I was just about to ask you about that.
I thought it was really great. You mentioned it, the old B team coming back to haunt them. Like, The Miz is going to
Does Miz go to Final Testament and ask them for help?
Or is Miz?
Or is he being tortured right now because at the end of that little video clip, homeboy came up and grabbed him from behind?
Yeah, Dexter did. Yeah,
But they could say Miz escapes, goes to Final Testament. That could be your traditional Survivor Series match.
But listen, if Miz escapes, you now you devalue the Wyatt Six. How does the Miz escape from 5 freaks?
Well, they did that shit with the Wyatts back when Bray was running the Wyatts.
But how does somebody like the Miz escape from five crazies?
Oh, they could figure out a way to.
Well, I know, but like you got to protect characters.
What does Final Testament come in and
maybe
find them?
And maybe the Final Testament saves
because the Final Testament's still in it, even though. Like when Miz said, you got the wrong guy. I'm not with the Final Testament. You want the Final Testament. And
no, it's always been
Uncle Howdy is like, it's always
Dude, how good is Bo Dallas doing right now?
He's awesome, man. He's channeling his brother.
I mean,
he's really channeling his brother.
Living through a whole nother deal. And like, he's always been a little quirky, but like, I mean, I love how they called back to the B team.
Yeah.
I mean, has Curtis Axel come back? How cool would that be?
Is he the 6?
Ooh.
Because they still only have 5, right? Or
they do. I mean, I don't know where Curtis Axel is right now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if he's even been wrestling.
But it was interesting seeing that they showed that
But the
clip
B team was something, I think, that blew up for the WWE, and they didn't expect it.
Yeah, dude, I had forgotten all about that when we were talking the other day. And I go, Jay, what did Bo Dallas and The Miz have? And he was like, the B team. And I'm like, oh, that's right. When they were part of the A-listers, and Miz would shit all over them all the time.
And then the B team got huge.
Yeah, they ended up winning the belts and everything, right?
It was massive. And they had these little white T-shirts with the B on it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, dude, I think it's so cool right now. I mean, Triple H is doing such a great job. It's so amazing to see. There's so many things. Like, I wonder how far out that Triple H has this thing thought about. Like, you have to have the WrestleMania endgame in mind.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Bloodline, there's so many layers to it. The other things you can kind of take on a PLE moment to moment. Like, you can work towards the next PLE. Bloodline has to be a long-term situation. And we've talked about it on this podcast about Paul Heyman's comment about bottom of the third, and everybody laughed at him, but nobody was thinking about anything beyond Cody Roman. And now we're to the point where Cody is not even in the storyline, and it's Roman. Sammy's back in. And
thinking about it right now, like, I don't think Cody and KO are in the Bloodline thing.
No,
I think Cody will go after. I think Cody will go after.
That was my long shot of trying to make it 5-5. I don't know how they make it 5-5
because
those are the only two people that I could think of.
Now I can see actually Cody and KO not for the belt, but just fighting at Survivor Games,
like an unsanctioned type situation.
In the honor of like Randy, like Cody's going to come out on Randy's side and be like, "You're out of control. I'm going to finish you."
And he went, and Cody went in the ambulance.
Yeah.
He hopped in the ambulance.
Yeah, so it's going to be Cody KO. So we figured that out. I think we figured that out.
I'm just trying to figure out how they make it 5-5.
Well, maybe they introduced 2 new family members. Both sides. One signs one brings a new
You think
family member in.
Paul Heyman says, "I've got somebody."
Exactly. That's how it will be.
I mean, the wise man has to come back.
So probably Solo will.
They're talking about the wise man.
Solo will introduce someone probably on this next Raw. Maybe the next.
Well, you got to think that the Bloodline's not really on Raw
or SmackDown. Whatever.
I think they did because they wanted to strike while the iron's hot the other night because Roman didn't come, but the Usos and Sammy came, and maybe the Usos and Sammy continued to show up because you got to remember Netflix is right around the corner.
Yep.
Netflix is probably like, we want Roman on TV.
Oh yeah.
We at least in the beginning, we need Roman to be on TV because we want to attract eyeballs.
Yep.
But I really
that'll be your draft. That'll be your Netflix draft, my friend.
I really like what Solo's doing, dude.
Yeah, Solo's awesome.
Solo's been really good lately. Mm-hmm. Really good. He's
getting He's getting a lot better on the microphone.
His comfort, you can just tell he's comfortable. He's
sitting into that role
that
he's playing and that he's
supposed to be. The only thing that strikes me a little odd with the whole Bloodline storyline is like, I want The Rock Roman. I don't really want Roman Solo.
No.
But I mean, right now, the way it's set up, those are the two leaders until you introduce The Rock, and he's the guy that's been pulling the strings.
Yeah. Solo at this point is like,
but you have this situation though, KT. Like, you got a lot of months. You got 5 months until WrestleMania. So when does the Rock situation get hot and heavy?
Royal Rumble.
After
Royal Rumble?
Do you think he wins the Royal Rumble? You think he's in the Royal Rumble?
Well, no, because if he wins the Royal Rumble, then he gets a shot at the belt at WrestleMania, and I don't think the belt's coming off Cody for a long time.
Yeah. I don't think The Rock and Cody have their thing for a little bit.
No, I think that's the following WrestleMania.
Yeah. Or, thinking of the 5-on-5 thing again, do you think The Rock shows up and he's the fifth member for War Games and Cody comes to go against The Rock and he's the fifth member on Roman's side?
That could be. But do they want to turn that story?
Yeah, do they want to approach that? They want to.
I would see more Rock joins Roman. And then turns and helps Solo win, and that's how they. Then you build.
And that's how they present. I've always been the one pulling the strings.
Yep.
And they bring Zilla.
Yep.
And there's your fight. Oof.
That's how they do it.
Woo.
If they do it, if Rock's willing to come do this, he shows up Monday night. Maybe it's this week. Maybe it's or not Monday night. Friday night.
We got 3 weeks.
Yeah, either this Friday or next Friday. Probably this Friday. Rock, if this is the plan, Rock shows up. He's like, Roman, I've been with you. You know you're my tribal. You're my tribal chief.
This little tribal chief.
He's their younger brother. He shits on Solo. He shits on all of them.
But during the War Games match,
he's the one who causes the thing.
And then
Solo raises his hand.
I'm the one, and then he's like, I'm the one who's been pulling.
I'm the tribal chief.
And Solo puts the necklace on the Rock.
There it is.
I just got goosebumps.
I did too.
And that totally sets up Roman Rock WrestleMania. However, you got a problem because you got 3 PLEs in between there.
Yeah.
But Royal Rumble does not have to be focused around the Bloodline.
No,
it
Royal
Rumble It could be focused on a Roman Solo match.
Yeah, and Royal Rumble is the Rumble is the Rumble is.
And when does John Cena make his return, and what's he going to be involved in?
Right.
Is Cena going to be involved in something completely different?
You will see.
Is he going to stay far away from the Bloodline storyline?
The only thing I can think, because I just went and rewatched like the I don't know if we talked about this in the last podcast or a couple of them, but I was watching this the Rock Cena feud, and how good
social media, but I think the Rock Cena put a button on that though.
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna bring Cena into the fold.
Cena's gonna probably come in the fold to put some people over.
You would hope.
You would hope that's what you would want to do on your way out.
Just have one last year.
Cena and Orton had a great run too.
Yeah.
That could be a nice something. But I think that, dude, we just wrote it.
Yeah.
Fantasy Booking 101. We just did it. We'll see if we're right. We've been right about a lot of stuff lately.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff we've talked about on this podcast.
It would be sick if that happens.
Yeah. We've talked a lot of stuff about on this podcast, and it's actually happened the following nights. And who knows, man? I mean, I think it could be, that would be really cool. You have to introduce The Rock back into it at some point. You have to make
better time than
have to make the
War Games.
You have to make the War Games a 5-on-5 match. I just don't see how else you can do it besides throwing something on the wall and hoping it sticks.
Yeah.
I mean,
and even if The Rock doesn't turn at War Games, it's set.
I think you have to.
You have to. Yeah, you have to.
If you're going to do it, that's where it needs to happen.
Or they could create
because you got to think the Elimination Chamber is not going to have anything to do with the Bloodline,
and it can't be expected either.
Yeah.
Like they can't have like little shenanigans where Rock where Roman's distrusting him. Like Roman's got to have full trust.
The
in him.
Elimination
because when
Chamber
that turn happens, like when Sami turned on Roman.
Yeah. The Elimination Chamber is focused around the belts, so you don't even need the Bloodline. Doesn't even need to be at Elimination Chamber. That story doesn't even need to happen. Royal Rumble.
Yeah, because
maybe you
neither
have
side of the
some
bloodline
kind of
holds
match
any belt
at
right
Royal
now,
Rumble.
right?
What's that?
Neither side of the bloodline has any belt right now.
No, and I think it's great. They took the tag belts away, and Motor City Machine Guns are running with that.
There'll be some tag matches Survivor Series too.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's going to be good, man. I think we'll sit here and watch.
Yep.
Yeah,
it'll be
sit
awesome.
here and watch.
I think we figured it out. Let's see if we're right.
21-6, Cardinals over the Jets. Look at Ezekiel Elliott. What a mess he is. But, yeah, dude.
Another
Episode
pot in
9
the books.
in the books. We kind of hit on everything today. Jaguars, Magic.
We were a little heated. We were a little heated earlier.
Yeah. Oh, we were a little heated?
I was fucking irate.
Yeah.
I've calmed down. Wrestling got me back in a good mood. Yeah. The Magic are holding on.
But thank you everybody for listening. I know we got a little we went back, talked a little bit of Jags this week. But we appreciate everything. Everybody following us, subscribing to us. We appreciate that. Keep it up. We're going to keep bringing the content to you. We love doing this, and we love you guys listening to your reactions, your comments. It's all cool.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to make this better and better every week, and I feel like we're heading in the right direction. But Kenny, in the great words of Jackie Moon,
Ellie.
Everybody love everybody. See everybody next time. Thanks. Peace.